Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So today I'd like to share with you on the study of Zen or study of Chinese martial arts. So basically there are two types of way or system or centric on the study of Zen or the Chinese martial arts. So one is the self-centric, another one is the educational centrics. So what is self-centric like? Self-centric is the way one think that one study something so that one can become the grandmaster, the best fighter, the top grandmaster who is the most expert or authority, the grandmaster where you have millions of people following them. Okay, so those are the example of self-centrics. And self-centric come with the word success. Okay, I'm so successful because I'm the best in the field. And that is another type is which is the educational centrics. Educational centric is I study this, I want to master this so that I'll be able to share with everybody, so everybody have a peaceful living and a harmony living, and everybody have a good living. So that is the educational centrics. And since ancient times, these two types of centric always exist, be in Zen or in different field, okay? And of course in the study of Kung Fu and so forth. So say take Zen. If we read the Sixth Patriarch Sutra, which is talking about the six patriarchs, how to study with his teacher and so forth, you can clearly know the sixth patriarch Huineng and his senior Shen Xiu actually represent the educational centric and the self-centric. If you look at that, Shen Xiu is a self-centric type of person. So he get really worried and concerned when his teacher asked him to write about his thesis on his attainment. Okay. And for the Huineng, he really didn't pay much attention. Okay. And in fact, if you look at that, later on, Shen Xiu become the top monk of the Tang Dynasty, which is get invited into the emperor's palace. Okay, he's teaching in the palace of the empress. Okay, however, Huineng, or the sixth patriarch, took what he learned or he attained and he changed the whole system so that more and more people can study and understand Zen, and he never go to the palace. Okay, even the emperors at that time, Wu Zhitian, asked him to go to palace, but he doesn't want it. He just he stay with the people, he educate people. And that led to the expand of the Zen and the well-known of the Zen. Okay, without Huineng do that, Zen will not grow like that. Okay, so there is educational centric type, and there's two types. It exists since long time ago. Okay, in the ancient. And also, if you look at the red book, our ancestor, Wing Chun ancestor in the red boat. Opera in the ancient China is actually an education system. Many doesn't know this, okay, but this is what it is. So what happened is that in China, there's villagers who is not literate or illiterate. So it is rely on the opera, go to play in different villages and teaching or educate the people to be honest, to be doing good, to be this filial to their parents, to royal, to their country, and to live up to their promises and to do good even though they don't benefit themselves. So there's what the teaching of 忠孝节义. Okay, so this opera go to different place, rural area of the villages, even though they just showing or presenting or performing there, they are actually educate the people. So even say such as my grandmother who doesn't know how to read or write, okay, and this is my grandmother, he remember all the opera, and she remember what each opera means, or human has to be this way, this is the proper way, and so forth. And when I was young, he was telling me, oh, this is a good person, this is not good, we must not do this, and so forth. Her education is from the Red Bull Opera. Oh, no, not Red Bull Opera, but from the opera, okay? So, if you look at that pre-1800s, or pre the, what do you call it, the uprising time, pre-1850s, that is the functions of the opera. Go everywhere to educate people. And of course, in the time of Red Boat Opera uprising, is because Li Mamao and so forth know that it cannot be this way anymore, because the government is totally screwed up and corrupted. That's why they think that they want to overthrow the Qing dynasty. Okay. However, one thing you can see in the Taiping Museum, right after the uprising, everybody want to be the king. So it is like in Silicon Valley here, once the company startup, many in the company will say, oh, shoot, he can be CEO, I want to be CEO one too, okay? So I'm going to do something. So politics play and so forth, because I want to be the best, I am the best, I am the guy who contribute the most. All this kind of stuff happen, okay? So practically it, after 1850s, you can see in the Taiping Museum, you have practically tens of kings in the Canton and the southern China area, okay? And that is not educational, that is based on self. I want to be the boss, I want to be the top, I want to be the grandmaster, I want. And some of them even sell off their own friend, go working for the Qing government. Okay, you can read in the history. Okay. So today, if you look at that, these two type of centric still exist. Okay, and one of the reasons of this, the Chinese martial art die off, is because there's a lot of self-centric type of teaching. And in fact, it is a majority of that. Decades ago, when the Shaolin aboard the Haideng Fashi, or the Dharma Master Haideng, when come to California in the city of 10,000 Buddhas, he also said that the Kung Fu or the martial art is at the end lost because of the teacher kept a part of the teaching for himself. And then if every generation keep a little bit, then with 2-3 generations, everything's gone. Okay? So that is how it will happen. Okay? There's a cause and effect. If you go self-centric, you want to be the best in the world, the top in the world, the grandmaster, you own so much and so much and so much. So you end up that 2-3 generations things gone, because then everybody start to keep what they know, or to hide things, or to do whole bunch of stuff. Same thing with if you read the 6 Patriarch Sutra, even the 5th Patriarchs have to wipe off whatever the 6th Patriarch Huinan wrote in the wall, afraid that people were going to kill him or something like that. Okay? Because people just want the title of Grandmaster, the most authentic, the most expert, and so forth. Okay. So today I propose or raise or want to walk the way of the directions of the education is because I really don't like the self-centric way, and thus I depart with a lot of my former students, not because they are bad, but because I know that their directions and my directions are different. And there's nothing wrong for them to want to be the top fighter, top grandmaster, and top everything, but my mind is not there, because I follow my my teacher's teaching of thing has to be educational. Okay, it's Buddhism stuff, it's Zen practice. Because if one practice Buddhism and one do not do for the going to the path of the educational centric, then it is never Buddhism. Okay, and that is the bottom line of it. And of course, you can also read in, say, like the Song of Enlightenment. At that time, the Zen Patriarch Yongjia, he said that, he in his this Song of Enlightenment, he described his attainment. Okay, and at the end, he still say, I'm not the only one. No, all the Buddhas have attained this. So what it means is that everybody is equal and capable to attain as what I do. And if you look at like the medicine Buddha's vow, he's always saying that I'll be so and so, and at the end, all the living beings also attain the body. Meaning like the same with me, no different. Okay. So there is one really important thing about this educational centric. Because as we know, Zen can spread and be very solid and create a lot of grandmasters of Zen after Huinan. Okay, before Huinan, when there's only one single guy who's the master and grandmaster and so forth, it doesn't really go that far. Okay, and only educational centric, that like in the Western educations, you can produce so much real expert there. Okay, and yet it doesn't have to get into those very ugly politics, because education is education. Teaching people, helping people is helping people. There's nothing much more attached to that. And another thing I'd like to share with you is the lately people ask me about my book. Did I keep something out of my books? Some secret? Well, I told everybody, as in the 6 Patriarch Sutta, the secret is in your sight, it's not never in my sight. Why? There's no secret. it is only attainment. Like in the Buddhism, there are 5 skandha. The physical or the body, okay, or the form, and then the emotional, the thinking, and then the actions, and then the connections. It depends on which level have one breakthrough. The one who break through deeper or more layer being breakthrough will know more, or be able to know the details even more. And there's no secret. It's all attainment. Okay? And thus, I can only present what I know. I cannot present what I don't know. Okay? And what I know today will be different than what I know tomorrow if I keep practicing. Okay? So the book I wrote, it is what it is. Is there anything advanced? Sure. For example, the breathing component. That is actually the beginning of Anapanasati. Okay? The chi element. That's actually the 3rd state of the Anapanasati, where one be able to aware of one's energy flow in the body. Or you can say that there's the 3rd level of the iYikKam 修炼陶, or the 3rd level of the 二昧十二庄. It's all the same. So the issue is, does one have the attainment? Like only a few days ago when I showed the iYikKam, okay, on the YouTube, let's settle the iYikKam within 30 minutes. Every part, if you can handle that, you can handle that. You can clearly handle every part of it and know what happened. And is there anything advanced, more advanced than what I show in the YouTube? Yes. I didn't show anything about the breathing in the YouTube, right? But in fact, the difference of handling of the hip and the spine curvature is directly influenced to the breathing right away. Okay, if you get somebody who know that right away, it can be sensed or detect right away. Okay, so thus I can tell you that if anyone have the 613.3 and have it developed, not just learning or reading or thinking about it, one be able to sense or screen out what happened. And like the iYikKam, all the lower forefoot and the spine curvature, just by screening that, one know whether this is real or not, or how far it can get. Okay, and thus a lot of so-called 站桩 out there doesn't work. Why? Because the body is not handled properly, and they couldn't even breathe. How are they supposed to success in 站桩? They cannot do that. Okay. So all this today I want to share with you is, I go for the educational centric way, and I hope everybody be able to benefit from the Wing Chun or the ancient Chinese internal arts. And also, if we want to get into mainstream, like the university, formal class and everything, we better have a solid foundations, which can be proven, okay, scientifically. And actually, Buddhism is pretty scientific. There's a lot of things there. Okay, you need to go step by step to attain it. Okay, and only this way people will accept us as the mainstream, not just a story, a legend. Okay, it is like physics is not a story of Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. It's not. It's something facts. Okay. And again, if you look at my my presentation lately, I seldom want to say the snake body or crane body, so forth. I totally discard it later, Why? Because one we know it is about torque and the torque conversions in terms of physics. We want to use that because snake, everybody can interpret what is snakes or snake body, but torque that's based on physics. Okay, you can right away proven it in the lab or anything can be measured. Okay, only that way the mainstream can accept one. Otherwise, everybody will be tactful with us, but will they really take us seriously? No. It's just being tactful, being nice, and being kind. Okay? But we don't need that tactful and kind. If we really have something we want to be, take as what it is, as facts, like Newton's law. Okay? One doesn't have to be nice to be Newton's law. It is what it is. So this is for you today. Hopefully more people understand where I'm coming on. No, I'm not going to compete with those grandmasters who's going to making more money or franchise or selling my books or anything. I really seldom think about those things. What I think is Wing Chun have a lot of potential to help people. And if everybody know about it, the basic, then it is a better world. And this actually the same thing is what Confucius, the Kongzi of China, believe. Okay, it's about educations, and educations is for everybody. It's not to make anybody grandmaster. And I like to close this conversation as what my late Sifu, Venerable Xuanhua, teach me. He said, if you want to be poor, come learn with me. You want to be rich, making a lot of money, don't. I don't know how to teach you how to make a lot of money. But if you want to be poor, then come to study with me. I will say that to a lot of people who like to ask me about Wing Chun also. If you want to be a grandmaster or the best fighter, don't ask me because I'm not, and I don't know how to be one. But if you like to know about the Wing Chun, how thing works, then I am very happy to share what I know. And also, I will not give face on things which is not the facts, because people often say, well, I have trained in internal art for 3 years. How come you always reject what I'm saying or what I'm thinking? Well, you know what? Fact is facts. It is disregard if you train for 3 lifetimes. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And for me to give you face to say, yes, agree with you, that is not an education-centric way. Okay, honest, straight words has to be said. If it's not, it is not. If it is, then it is yes. So this is for you today.